How's everybody doing tonight? Good. Thank y'all for all the love. I appreciate all the support that y'all have given us over the years. I know that last night I made a pretty big announcement. Got a feedback in my mic. Did a pretty big announcement last night. I had a lot of y'all reaching out to me through private messages and things of that nature asking, hey, what's going on? Why is Propelio shutting down? Is Propelio shutting down? Are the events shutting down? What's going on? So I'm here to clarify a little bit of that for you. I'm going to take a few minutes before we get to the panel, kind of let y'all know what's going on within the company. And many of y'all are new to the Propelio community. Y'all really don't know much about my past. I've been somewhat quiet for the past year. I've gone through a lot of my own personal development through the last year. And I want to kind of open up and show y'all a little bit about what's going on. And to do that, I really kind of need to show y'all the beginning and break some of that down for you. I wanted to show with y'all kind of what I call a success line. Looking at a success line, we all hear, America's the land of opportunity. We all have equal opportunity. I call bullshit on that. We do not have equal opportunity. And for those of you that would like to argue that with me, give me 15 minutes to drop some of this on you. Going through this, most people start their life out born into just over broke. You are born into a family of just over broke. You are one paycheck away from broke. That is the majority of America. We are an employment country. And most employees are one paycheck away from broke. All of that to be said, we grow up in a broke household and we move into the indoctrination of school. We go through school and school teaches us to be obedient employees. Now, this is my personal opinion. No one has to agree with that. But most people that go through school end up in the exact same position. After you make it out of school, where do you end up? Just over broke. And that is the cycle that most Americans are in. Would everybody at least agree that most Americans are one paycheck away from being broke? Yes. Is that a problem? Yes. It is a huge problem. For a very select, small few of the people that make it out of school, whether that is through high school, through college, indifferent. It's all an indoctrination in my opinion. A very select few of those people that make it out into that job on this success line will achieve this little portion right here. And that little portion right there I'm going to call the $100,000 millionaire. They've got a nice house, they've got a nice car, they've got a nice wardrobe, but how many paychecks are they away from being broke again? One. Now that exact same person, if they lived a different lifestyle, could take some of that extra income, reapply it back into growing themselves, and likely break through that next ceiling, but they don't do it because they are starved for the Facebook fame of houses, cars, and clothes. I'll move forward further down this success line, and every one of these marks on this success line is another ceiling that a person will have to break through to achieve the next level. A select few of these people will go into solopreneurship, essentially being a one-man operation, 1, 2, 3 people. What I would like to stress is that many of the people that do go into solopreneurships still land themselves into just over broke. Most solopreneurs that you will meet will be working from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. to make it to just over broke. Is that a problem? Why are so many of these people, you hear the 9 out of 10 businesses fail. Why is that? And I still keep asking that question, why is that? It is only this very small, select few people that go into entrepreneurship and actually succeed and achieve the wealth that we're all looking for. Why is that? I truly believe that there are key things that create the differences between the people that make it into here and the people that live in over here. If I continue further down this, and you'll start seeing this resemble Robert Kiyosaki's cash flow quadrant. But as I go further down this, you will see yet again a very small number of people that start out at JOB and end up anywhere other than JOB or owning your job. This is someone else's job. This is owning your job. That actually make it over here to business ownership, where automation, policies and procedures, accountability start taking effect, allowing that business owner to step away from the podium and allow that business to function and thrive in their absence. It is beyond rare to find anybody that makes it from JOB to here, because to do so, you must completely kill your ego 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times to get to that point. It is a complete and total recreation of one's mindset to achieve that. It is not an easy thing to do. You must constantly be killing your ego and moving to the next level to get to that. And most people, if they get to this, you will finally find a point of comfort and you'll stop getting to the next level. You must constantly kill yourself and move into a new breed to continue moving forward. And then the very last piece that we all know from Robert Kiyosaki's cash flow quadrant is the investor profile. I'm not talking about real estate investor. What I mean by investment is your cash is making you enough money to survive. Just the simple fact, like how hard would it be to make $1 million in a year? Well, if I had $100 million, all I would need is a 10% return to do that. Do y'all see how simple it gets as you start moving further down this? At the point in time I become an investor and I have 9 figures of liquid capital earning me interest, all I have to do is sit down and I'll make $1 million a year. Most of us cannot fathom that because we have not killed ourselves that many times. Are y'all following the logic and the line set that I'm trying to put out there? Now, when I started this conversation, I said something that many people may or may not resonate with, and I said, America is not the land of equal opportunity. It is not. If I was fortunate enough to be born to parents of a business owner or investor, I have likely got a huge head start on this race. I have been indoctrinated into a different mindset. Mindset is the only difference between that side of this success line and this side of the success line. We will adapt and adopt the mindset of our surroundings. And if our surroundings is that of business ownership, our outlook on business ownership will be totally different. But many of us will have gone through a school system that has taught us employment, even through college. College just means you're a very well-educated employee. It's the truth. I have the equivalent of a 6th grade education. I stand here on this stage. And I'll explain a little bit more. This is the average person's success line. What I would like to introduce you to is the reality of America and the piece that so many people ignore, and a piece that I believe is growing larger and larger every day, and we are ignoring the fact that it's happening. I will move forward. This is where the average person starts. Let me show you the other side of the success line. A side that many people in this room will have not experienced, and unfortunately so many people in this room have. We have the other side of the timeline. That's called broke as fuck. Considering the outlook on that, I guess some of y'all understand that. Let me give some explanation on broke as fuck. What happens when you grow up on government housing? What happens when your mother's 12 years old? What happens when your mother is a prostitute and your dad's a drug dealer? How much different is your life? Is that equal opportunity? It is not. Imagine placing yourself, if you have not experienced this, in the life of someone that is accustomed to being shot at in elementary school. Where is that opportunity? What happens whenever you are 13 years old and you are now selling drugs to support your prostitute mother, your drug dealing father? That is a totally different indoctrination. But people, and a lot of people are growing up over here, and I see many, many people moving this direction because this side of the success line is getting smaller and smaller every year. That is correct. Yes. But if we're starting out over here broke as fuck, where's our next step? Many of us will understand this, and it's addiction. Why is addiction so, over here, if you start out with JOB, your first step is school. Whenever your mother's a prostitute that's 12 years old, let me ask you, are you going to be going to school every morning? Who's your support system at that time? No one. Why is addiction the first step? It is an escape from reality. What so many people have been failed to be told. All I heard in school was drugs are bad, drugs are bad, drugs are bad. No one tells you what that first hit of heroin feels like. Now, I know there's many people in this room that will not understand that. It feels really good. And then meth. and all that other stuff. Why is it that so many people end up in addiction? It's an escape from their reality. It's an escape from the abuse, the mental, physical, and sexual abuse that so many people throughout this entire success line find. Many people will start out over here in this business occupation side. But if their parents were sadistic Fs, they're likely going to quickly fall right back down to over here. And why is that? They are trying to escape reality. Does that make sense? Can we at least understand that drugs are an escape from reality? I bring a lot of this up because I want to expose some of y'all to my past. I want to expose some of y'all to the reasons why I am doing what I am doing. I want to expose some of y'all to the reasons why I stand up here on this stage and speak the way I speak, and the reasons why I dress the way I dress. If I continue moving forward, many of us, once you start out in addiction, you will have to support that addiction, and that will turn into a life of crime. If your mother was 12 years old and did not breed you into a life of success, waking you up every morning, getting you ready for school, what does your opportunities look like? There is a lot of money on that side. I want everybody in this room to understand that, whether or not you recognize the other side of this timeline or not. I don't ask you to. I just need you to recognize that it is real. On this side, you've got the low money crimes, and that's typically addicts trying to feed their addiction. But that moves all the way up to Fortune 500 companies on that side of the timeline. You have entrepreneurs on this side of the timeline. You have people that want out of this trap, but the only opportunities that they see that end up with money involve a life of crime because that is the only people that they know to look up to. Does that make sense? Do you have to agree with it? No. I want you to understand a different side of some people's lives. Moving forward from there, if we do get through this, our likely graduation is going to end up being prison. If you do really good at that side and you make a ton of money, you're almost guaranteed to graduate to prison. And most people that make it through this side of the timeline will make it through death before they ever hit JOB. It's an absolute truth. How many ceilings had these people had to go through just to make it to there? Sometimes if you do this really good, you get to pass all that and go straight to death. What is the difference between this side of the success line and this side of the success line? Opportunity. Is this a land of equal opportunity? We must accept that and stop saying that, you know what, it was their choice. I was one of these people over here on this side. I've had to break close to 9 ceilings to get to this side of the timeline. I have gone through and seen a lot of things in my life. I could stand up in this room and put on a pinstripe suit and pretend to be some well-dressed, well-manicured businessman. I want everybody in this room to realize and understand that despite your background, there is opportunity. But the thing is that opportunity is not often exposed on this side of the timeline. That is exactly why we created the Propelio Academy. Could we have... Thank you. Thank you. I most definitely could have put a price tag on that. It is priceless. There is no price tag I could truly put on that, and you might have a better understanding as we get closer to the end of this presentation as to why it is free. But I want everyone in this room to understand that if you are absent of opportunity within your life, and you are seeking an opportunity to get onto the other side of JOB, and you do want a different path for your friends and family, the opportunity is out there. This opportunity that has been provided to you came at a significant cost. Thank you. It has came at a significant cost. While it might be free to you, can you imagine how much it has cost this company? I don't think anybody in here can. Not only has it hurt us financially, it has hurt us socially. Many of the people that could help promote the academy will not do so because of the nature of the academy. You need to understand that. If they're out there selling all these different packages, many of those people are in direct opposition to what we've done because they do not understand the possibilities of the futures that it can create, and I do not dismiss them for that. I don't have any anger for them. They're trying to protect the old way. I see a new way that this country could evolve to opportunity. I think the biggest difference is equal opportunity. Knowledge is powerful, as I've heard Brittany Washington say, but she added something else to it. Knowledge applied is powerful. I can give this all away for free, but if you don't apply it, there's no opportunity to go forward. Let me move forward. My why. My why has significantly changed over the years. When I first got started in real estate, and I have been very successful in real estate, I don't do what they call Facebook flex. I don't go out there all the time flashing stuff. If I have to flash a Lambo for you to get excited about this, then I don't consider your why to be big enough. Thank you. For those of you that truly understand the opportunity that has been given to you, and for those of you that have taken action on the opportunity given to you, understand that it is a struggle, and we are in one of the toughest market cycles there is. But I truly believe we are on the cusp of a downturn. And if you are very wise about what you are doing in real estate, that is the biggest opportunity that many of us will ever see in our lifetimes again. Be educated. Go out there and be resourceful. Learn what's going on, and if you do, you will have the opportunity of going from broke to multimillionaire. I know for a fact it's possible. I've done it. And not only did I do it, I did it starting out broke as fuck. Thank you. But my why used to be the Lambos, the big houses, and the fancy cars. I have gone through, and I still struggle daily, and I have admitted this repeatedly, with severe depression. Do not be surprised if you wake up one day and there's Facebook posts all over about me blowing my head off. It's not a joke. You do not make it from that side of the timeline to this time of the timeline without some severe struggle. One of the things that I failed to recognize starting out is chasing that big house, that fancy car, all of those things. I thought that those objects would fill the void in my mind that was causing my depression. While it would temporarily give me excitement, while it would temporarily give me that fulfillment that I seeked from growing up in a severely abusive household, feeling like I was a lazy, worthless piece of shit, all I found through those objects was short-term relief, and then the depression would kick back in, and I would want to go back to bed with a gun in my mouth. What I have found in the past year is not a damn thing matters in this world other than my friends, my family, and my experience. And what I have found is it takes very little money to fulfill those three things. So what I would like to pass upon to anybody that is in the crowd chasing those big houses and those cars, I have no problems with that. If that is your dream, go for it. But if you're expecting that dream to fill a void in your mind, that void will never be filled because you will always find the next thing. 10 million will turn into 50 million. I want 100 million. I want 200 million. It will never fill the void inside until you have filled that yourself. My why. That is my sister. She had a heroin needle in her arm at 14 years old. My sister is dead. My brother is dead. My stepfather is dead. My cousin, many of them are dead from heroin. Heroin and meth has taken complete and total control of most of my family. I stand here today as a witness to all of this. This was her boyfriend at the time. He just got his skull bashed in by a 38 on a botched drug deal. I still, to this day, wonder if I could have done something different to save my sister's life. Has anybody in here ever had to struggle with addiction from drugs and alcohol, either of themselves or within their family, and have seen what those can do to their family? Please raise your hand if you've ever seen that. This is not a small thing. I am not the only person in this room that has experienced this. If you look around the room, there are many people that are experiencing this in their lives. The academy is my way, because what happened is as I started growing further and further, is I sat there and I started looking back and I was like, all of the success that I have made has done nothing but tried to make me better. I never passed anything back down. As I looked at my closet and I see $30,000 worth of clothes, I sit there and I ask myself, what have I truly done other than for myself? I have served no one other than myself. And when I start looking at another person and I start looking at someone above me saying, you need to serve more people, I started realizing that those clothes, those houses, and those cars didn't mean a damn thing. And from that day moving forward, I've wore a pair of board shorts, flip-flops, and a gray shirt. This is the only thing that truly matters to me anymore. As long as that girl and these two ladies right over here get to live an abundant life, and they can learn what that success line looks like, and I can pass on to them the knowledge that I've had to take to kill myself 9 times to get to where I'm at on that success line, I have succeeded in life. I have grown to accept that as my success, because through being beaten severely as a child, I'm talking about rolling pins, bench vices, and baseball bats, I am very well accustomed to being able to shut my brain down and take a beating. You learn that when you're 3 years old and you're going against a 140-pound woman. This right here is my why. Now, last night I said something to the world and I said I am shutting the Propelio events down. Why? I need everyone in this room to see some of this. For close to a decade, I took severe mental and physical abuse. By the time I was in middle school, seeing my friends get shot was not outside of the norm. Going from that to where I am at today, I still, to this day, struggle with the inner thoughts of you are a worthless, lazy piece of shit. Because that is what I was told and beat into my head from the time I was this tall. I still struggle with daily feeling like I have not given enough back to this world. Because I am a lazy, worthless piece of shit. I know. But I've got to figure my way out of it. I'm hoping so. Or I will be dead. But moving forward from there, Propelio I consider to be a huge success, especially from where I have came from. Not only in and of itself, but to consider what I've had to do to go from where I went from to where I stand today, I must accept that there is a level of success to that. While I cannot personally feel that, I do not, in any capacity at all, realize that there is a success here. I want everyone in this room to realize I am shutting this event down for a reason. Because so many of y'all do not understand. When I sit here and say, I want to give everything I possibly can back to this world, I am not joking. Does anybody in here know how to read financial statements? From 2015 to 2018, what's that P&L look like? Negative what? Negative $1.2 million. Who do you think's bankrolling all of that? My name, my equity, and my life. How much money have I made off of y'all? None. What does 2019 look like? A $576,000 loss. This is not free. The Academy was not free. This event is not free. The software that y'all use is not free. What I want everyone in this room to realize is when I sit up here at the front of the room and say, I truly want to change lives, I'm not making a dime off of this. I was extremely successful in real estate investing. I sat there and I saw me wearing $1,500 worth of clothes. And then I sat there and saw my cousins dying from heroin. And I had to sit there and ask myself, am I truly serving anyone other than myself? So if anybody asks why I am shutting the Propelio events down, just remember, I've already invested close to $2 million into this community. If y'all would like to see this community survive, I have one more property that I can do a cash out refi on. It'll likely pull another $800 to $1.2 million out of my current net worth, which I have seen drastically drop over the past 5 years. I hit about 11 million at one point in time. I'm down to almost nothing. How much more do you want me to commit to this? If y'all want this to survive, I need help. Spread the word. I need to get the software pumped up somehow. The software is the only thing that can help me bankroll this. If y'all have any desire to see this community grow, help me get the word out about the academy. Help me get the word out about the software, because I've got about another year of my own personal finances to keep this alive before I shut it down. I'm not charging for the academy. That's off the table. The academy is and forever will be free. If y'all want to support, I need you to help me get the word out on the software itself. Do I understand that there are bugs in the software? Yes. I would also like you to understand how much software development costs. Thank you. I have an affiliate program. If y'all want to join the affiliate program and help share the word and become a part of Propelio's success through your own payments, the affiliate program is open to you. If you are out there and you see all of these, what they like to call themselves gurus and durus out there, ask them to show you their financial statements. And I'd be willing to bet their financial statements look a little different than mine. And I'd be willing to bet that you would be surprised where they're getting their revenue from. All I have to say is if you start following these gurus and you want to help this community, reach out to that guru and say, will you help us support the Propelio Academy? And if they say no, can you ask them where their heart truly is? Do you follow that? Am I being too intense? I know that I have an intense personality. How I grew up and where I am at today embodies an intense personality. I had to survive. Say it again. But for everybody that wants to say I'm a no-HUD guru, I've got the HUDs to show you. I saw an opportunity to help people, and I truly wanted to. I can clearly show you that those financial statements clearly indicate that I have committed a lot to helping a lot of people. All I'm asking out of you is to help me spread the word. If y'all can do that for me, I can keep this going, but I cannot keep bankrolling this forever. You asked me to charge you. All I'm asking is to not be running in the red every single year. If y'all can help me spread the word and keep me out of the red, that's all I ask for. I'm not asking for this company to be worth 20 billion, 50 billion, 100 billion. All I'm asking y'all for the help of is help me get it out of the red, because all I've got is one more year to give you. And that's the end of it. Y'all understand what I'm asking for today? Thank you. I don't have anything else to say, but for everybody that has showed us support along the way, thank you. For every one of y'all that have ever showed up to one of these events, I want to say thank you. And after I made that post last night, I want to go ahead and say thank you to RJ and Cassie, because they have both agreed to step up and take over the event and keep it going in your name. So I'd like to welcome them out. You got a mic?
No.
Much love, man. Come on out, man. Come on out. Y'all got mics? I'd like them to take over the show.
So, who here's lives have been impacted by Daniel and Propelio? So Daniel says that he wants to change people's lives. I think all of us can agree that he's changed each and every one of our lives. The only people that we here, these fine people that we call titanium investments, the only people that we serve is our Lord Jesus Christ. And Daniel asked me to come to a meeting a couple months ago, or a couple weeks ago. And he shared some intimate information with us. We were lucky enough to be in his presence, and he shared his knowledge. And I realized he serves the same Lord that I do and that we do. And last night, when I saw the post, I immediately knew what we had to do. I looked at Cassie. I said we should keep the event going. We've hosted our golf tournament for 3 years now. We have some knowledge on events. We've partnered up with Dutch, who is background with events, videography, things like that. And this morning, Edwin has a ton of, he has a great of relationship with Daniel as anyone. And I came in the office today, and I asked Dutch and Edwin, I said, hey, you're going to the event, right? It's the last one. And they both looked at me and said, we have to keep it going. And so there's nothing more perfect than when everybody's on the same page. So we want to keep it going. We're going to continue to call it the Propelio event. We're going to keep it the exact same way. But Daniel asked something out of all of us, and that is Daniel has been open and honest about the fact that he's not good at selling Propelio, and all of us need to do that for him. He asked. Daniel struggles with asking for help. He's open and honest about that as much as he puts himself out there. He asked for all of our help. So we're going to step up. We're going to help him as much as possible. We ask that you guys do the same. Y'all enjoy the rest of the show tonight.